Hey Saggies, I'm Island Turtle. Welcome to BOMISpirit. This is the monthly general reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. There's going to be a part 2 over on Patreon. You can also find it on Vimeo as well. Keep in mind these are timeless and general, and I do these about once every 30 days. That's why they call them monthlies. So please take the messages as they resonate and don't try to make it fit. Keep in mind anything I'm picking up on is something that could be happening in your energy field. So it could pertain to somebody you know or someone that is in your space, and it can be reversed, especially for people who are cross-watching, okay? All right, Saggies. So I have, sorry, itchy nose. Getting in the channeling mode here. I haven't been recording videos really the last few days because there's been some interesting collective energy going on, and I've been needing to hold space for that and sit in that. So it was my first video recording after a bit, and I'm still in this kind of like out of body meditative kind of a space here. Just telling you guys, just saying, just letting you know. But Saggies, getting a couple things for you. There's no more like avoiding something is something that is like coming through. Like avoiding is not the right best word. There's no more being in denial about something. There's no more sitting on something. There's no more like not fully acknowledging something is like how it wants to come through. Saggies, I feel like some of you guys have been like trying to be like really busy or really productive, or like you may even be feeling so restless that you're just like, I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna go do that, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that. You know, like mutable fire energy. But it's like you're doing everything except the one thing that is really beneficial for you to do, is how it was coming across. It's almost like you've been either complacent or procrastinating, or again, like just flat out ignoring or denying something that you really need to put attention to or really need to acknowledge or face, and you've been doing everything else in the world. Is kind of how it feels, which is interesting. But I feel like you guys are coming to that understanding. You're coming to that realization, and I think it's going to change things a lot for you. I feel like whatever this is that you've been avoiding or not giving homage to, not recognizing. 1044 on my crazy clock. It's like the 44s have been huge for the collective. Oh, I was like, what was that? Once you do though, there might be some sadness, and I thank you. I think that's partly why you've been avoiding or not acknowledging. It's like there's something that might be emotional for you about it, or something that you might just like, I don't want to go there, or I don't want to acknowledge the truth about that. But once you do, though, it's going to really cause a lot of movement to happen. I think you're actually going to feel better, even if you got to have a good cry. But there's a reason you've been avoiding whatever this is, or again, been in denial about whatever this is, or not looking at whatever this is. It brings up something uncomfortable for you, and I feel like it brings up something kind of sad or kind of emotional for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get in, oh, sorry, hold on. They stopped me immediately. Some of you are going through some upgrades. Some of you who are new, maybe you're going through an awakening. Definitely feeling like some upgrade activation energy just came in there. They're like, wait, there's more. Interesting. Some of you, this energy could also be translating that same way in which I was describing, where it's like you're kind of restless and you're like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, da, 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 instead of sitting and acknowledging or facing the one thing that you need to. That can also happen too when we're going through upgrades, or we're waking up or getting activated or going through ascensions. We can feel like sometimes we're getting so much energy that we're just like blah, right, like all over the place, like manic, and then we can be depressive, right? We can kind of go back and forth on that polarity. It also brings up and opens truth to us that we have not been wanting to see. That also can happen when we're going through these kinds of things, these kinds of phases of activations and awakenings and expansions. I really want to use the word expansion, actually. Second that came out of my mouth, I was like, that feels better when we go through these kinds of expansions, okay? All right, anyway, Sag, let's get into some cards. Let's get into some cards. Oh my God, there are quite a few decks that just immediately pull me to you. We're actually going to start with the Priestess of Light. Hold on. Priestess of Light. Energy Oracle wants to come out. Or yeah, we're going to start with that. Okay. Alrighty. Move you over. Any messages or insights for my Saggies? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. What kind of tree is this? I know the name of this kind of tree. It's like, okay, so like I think these were popular back in the 90s, I want to say. You know, like these little like mini Zen garden things, like, but they're like with little mini trees. I want to say they're Zen trees, but I know that's like not a thing. Anyway, they're showing me that. Some of you guys might really benefit from something that slows you down. Yeah, ooh, Saggy, I know you probably don't want to hear that. You might really benefit from having a hobby or a practice that slows you down, that helps you to be very conscious. And I don't know why it's like a little mini Zen garden is like what they're showing me. It's like maybe actually having a garden, right? Or picking up gardening. Because like gardening is amazing for so many reasons. I mean, it's very therapeutic, it is very meditative, and it really gets you in tune with yourself. It really gets you in tune with plants, it really gets you grounded as well. It's also really great exercise too, but it does force you to slow down, and it also forces you to kind of get more focused on the present and your body. I feel like you can like get into something like that, but this like whole idea of miniature, like meticulous, having to take your time and putting something together ever so carefully, like just needing to take time with things, needing to slow down, needing to slow down, needing to slow down. I feel like again, this almost, I want to say like despondent energy is kind of what I'm getting with you, has been really distracting. And also I think a good indicator of like how much you're trying to outrun this thing you need to acknowledge or face or deal with. For some of you, whatever this is could actually be very much rooted in the physical, like, I don't know, example, taxes, right? Or something like that, where it's like, I really don't want to sit down and do that, but it's really stressing you out actually that you're not doing it, and it's making you more bleh, right? Or it could be something purely emotional, right? It could be something where you really need to be in a meditative space for it, however that's translating for you. But yeah, it's like, find your little inner Zen garden. I want to say work, actually. Work on your little inner Zen garden. That might be the title of this. Any messages or insights for my Saggies? Conscious walking, meditative walking. Yeah, Saggies, they want you to slow way down. Way, way, way down. Acknowledge where you've been, yeah, complacent on something or some sort of truth. And why you haven't wanted to look at it, why you haven't wanted to face whatever that is, or make certain choices on whatever that is. Any other messages or insights for Saggies? Really taking the time with the cards, guys. They're showing me the moon. A lot of cards in this deck have the moon on them. The moon, you might be very connected to it at this time. You may be very sensitive to the moon cycles at this time. Maybe if for my women, your cycle may be very sensitive to your cycle around this time. Where are we again? We're in March. So we have a new moon. Yes, we have new moon Aries coming up. It's actually going to be the first new moon Aries out of 2 in a row. It's going to be new moon Aries, full moon Libra, and then an eclipse for the next new moon in Aries at like 29 degrees or something like that. And that, yeah, and I said that one will be an eclipse. But this next new moon, or maybe the next full moon, the full moon in Libra, may be important for you, but they're just highlighting the moon. Also honoring your own cycles too. We can't be go, go, go all the time. And we can't be rest all the time, right? Everybody has their own cycles, and also honoring that is important for you. Wings of light, becoming something new. Oh, are we going through a rebirth, Sag? Are we going through a rebirth? Sometimes those can be uncomfortable. 42 breaking down to a 6. It's funny because she's moving at lightning speed, and Spirit wants you to slow down. Slow down, slow down, slow down. I get strong rebirth energy with this. And sometimes when we're going through rebirth, you know, it really falls in line with what I was talking about before with expansion. Expansion can be looked at as a rebirth energy, right? It is this new growth of life, new growth of energy when we're going through expansion, and it does come with becoming a new version of yourself or a new level in your own consciousness or what it is that you're aware of and how you see things, right? And that's what I'm getting with this. And sometimes it can be uncomfortable, and sometimes there's a period of being in that space, just in a sacred space while it's happening, because it is a shift, it is a change. But I still feel like even within that, there is something that wants to be acknowledged that you have been actively not acknowledging. Again, it could even be something that just has to get done in the physical. It doesn't have to be emotional or grand or big. Calming the waters. Yeah. Calming the waters, energy of 3. Peaceful self-regulation. And again, with the moon, this one really sticks out for me, for you, Sag. I love this one because, you know, she has these giant antlers, and this card is supposed to indicate how she is connected to the moon, connected to spirit through her antennas, right? Through her antlers, and then she can channel energy out through her hands and out through her body and back into the grid. This is being connected, but it's being in stillness while being connected and being grounded and being intentionally just still. Again, slowing down, slowing down, slowing down. Peaceful self-regulation. Emotions. Again, it's like whatever this is that you're not taking care of or not acknowledging, I think it's because it makes you emotional or it stresses you out, which is why you're putting all of that angst towards other things to kind of diffuse yourself, but it's not taking care of the root of why you need to diffuse yourself in the first place. This is acknowledging it and then letting it move through you. And then we have idyllic times, the garden paradise. 48, sorry, it's a little dark in here. 48, that breaks down to 3. Oh, 2 3s. 2 3s, we like it. And then we have telepathy, transmission, perception, communication. 22, a master number. There's a lot going on in this card, Sag. There's a lot. This to me feels like downloads. This is also why Spirit needs you to slow down, because not only are there things that you're not acknowledging because they bring up emotions or they stress you out, but it's also to get you still so you can actually gather more information here for yourself, okay? With this card being in the center of it, whatever these downloads are, it's actually keys. I want to say keys to the kingdom. Like, and it could be just purely, you know, divine information, divine wisdom, but I feel like it for some of you, it's also like instructions, and that's also very collective right now, but slow it down. I really want to say slow it down. You might be freaked out. You might be emotional for a couple days when you slow down. Whatever is trying to come up there, I feel like it's part of like activations, upgrades. And again, when that happens, it's like we're getting a little bit of a tune up and we are getting a little bit of cleaning, right? So some things do have to be released and let go of. So let that happen so you can have space for these downloads to come in, because you want these downloads. I think these are actually like clarity, answers, information that's really going to help you right now, and maybe even answers and solutions that you've been actively seeking, but they need you to sit still to actually receive it. Okay. Interesting. All right, let's see if anything else wants to come out. Yeah, it definitely feels like some of you are in this place of rebirth, and it's like, how do I want to say it? The moments before you're active in this new version of yourself, or this new perception of yourself, or new perception of life. Yeah, overall we have wisdom, 29, an 11, a master number. You have 2 master numbers, 2 3s, and a 6. And what do you get when you get 3 3? You get 6. You see what I'm saying? A lot of synchronicities around you guys. I never noticed those 2 swans before. Oh, darn it. It just went a little slow on me. I hope the connection is fine. Anyway, I never noticed these 2 swans before. Learning, joy, art, music. Some of you, this is also learning to not have to do and just be. How to really just be and flow with all the things that we need to do. It's really more of taking that and turning it into want to do, but doing it in a way that really flows with your own, again, the cyclical living thing, that really flows with your own cycle of ebb and flow. So much of this is just honoring your energy, honoring your emotions, honoring your different processes, different phases. I need to stop using the word process. your different phases of your cycle, your personal seasons. Everybody has them, men and women alike. And the fact that this is your overall, ooh, and underneath that we have abundance. Ooh, Saggy. Fortune, wealth, plenty, 28, a cyclical energy. So talking more about cycles. Yeah, it's like this kind of stuff is trying to come in for you. Look at that. It's like rainbow colors. It's feminine energy. It's flow. It's creativity. It's spark. It's life. It's vitality. It's the feel goods, right? It's anything anybody would want. That's trying to come in for you. And Spirit's like, stop trying. Stop being despondent and sit. Calm down, acknowledge what you're not acknowledging, let it come up, let it flow through you, and then start getting the intuitive wisdom that for whatever it is that you need to know in this time period while you're going through this change. Okay? What was the title? I was gonna give it again. Damn it! I knew I should have wrote it down. I knew I should have wrote it down. Oh well. Anyway, moving on. So let's get into the energy oracle cards here, and then we'll go into part 2. Any messages or insights for Sagittarius, Sun, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter? Yeah, a lot of listening. A lot of listening. That was weird. I just thought I saw something. Don't mind me. Any messages or insights for Sagittarius? Let it take you. So I just heard, let it take you. Let your intuition take you. Let spirit take you. Let the energy take you. Just let it take you. It's very Pisces too. Let it take you. Blossoming abundance in reverse. I feel resistance here. Again, the whole like just not like sitting still, not letting things flow. It's like, and being in this place of like, I need to do and be productive, and you know, you're feeling stressed out or you're getting a lot of energy, and it's like you're feeling restless, so you're just like trying to like have outlets for it, but it's like it's like it's missing the point, right? It's like it's missing the important pieces of information that are trying to come to you. Some of you guys could be worried about like money and things like that and like the unknown, but it's like it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. I really want to say once you slow down and sit still, that's when things are going to shift for you. You may need to grieve. That's coming up too. You may need to grieve some sort of loss, disappointments. Ooh, bae. Ooh, double whammy here. Envy and attachment. This is kind of like looking at the 5 of Pentacles and the 5 of Cups together. Those are rough energies. Both of these are energies of yearning, of craving, of wanting, right? Instead of just being and being in gratitude and being in love. It's like this is wanting what you don't have, focusing on what you don't have. This is yearning and longing for even like the past or just something that emotionally you're yearning for instead of just being in the present. That's what's causing this. And that's kind of what I was getting. It's like instead of just being here, right? Being despondent and out like that, like, yeah, it's causing that resistance. And again, I feel like when you sit down and you acknowledge what you're not acknowledging, you're going to see this. You're going to go, oh, is that what I'm doing? Is that what's been lurking underneath the surface? Yeah. Yeah. Remember, we are in Saturn Pisces. And while there are really beautiful things that Saturn and Pisces can bring, and this is what I always say about Saturn, Saturn wants you to say yes. Saturn wants you to say yes to the lesson. Saturn wants you to say yes to the challenges. Saturn wants you to say yes to the sign that it's in, to embrace that, right? And to be focused on that and to live up to the integrity of whatever that sign is. And Pisces is also about letting go. Can we let go, Sag? This is what you've been ignoring. This is what you've been avoiding. Can you let go? of whatever this is. Because this is definitely feeling like lack, yearning, loss, disappointments, fear that things aren't going a certain way, like expectations. It's like I'm getting a bunch of stuff going on in here, but like that's what it is. Can you accept to let go of the things that you do not have in your present reality, or things that have not gone the way you expect, and just be grateful for what you have in the present and be able to understand how to navigate the present by being connected, right? By being connected within and without. Can we do that? Because look, I mean, you've got beautiful stuff trying to come in, but this can't exist where this exists, right? We can't have wisdom and abundance where there's attachment and envy, right? Okay, moving on. Any other messages or insights for Sagittarius pertaining to this spread? Interesting. Look what just fell out. Contract in reverse. Contracts that are ending. These can be obligations, like, work obligations, obligations to friendships or projects or deals, literally things that we sign up to say, hey, we are obligated to this, that, or the other, right? It could even be relationships. It could even be marriages, business relationships, things like that, soul contracts even. When it's in reverse, it's ones that are ending. Or how do I want to say this? Are ones that need to end. That you may be attaching to. And this is something else that I was getting a channeling about in the last 24 hours or so. The reminder that rejection is protection. That rejection is really just an indication of no matter how bad you may want something, sometimes it really is in your best interest to have yourself be rejected by that thing, by that relationship, by that job, by that location, because sometimes we really have no idea what can be in store for us, or what really is fully possible in the realm of limitlessness, which is what we are existing in, right? How does this want to come through? Even though we know, right, anything is possible, it's like it's going to take a while for our human imaginations to catch up, basically, to dream as big as we possibly can dream, because we can dream big, we can always go bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I feel like I'm looking at Saggies who are attaching to things that didn't work out, that haven't worked out, and you're holding on to it because you really want them, or you've wanted them, but you are rejected for a reason, or these are being rejected for a reason, and you need to trust that. Need to have faith that it really is in your best interest to let go. Don't yearn for the things that have left. Don't yearn for the things that that spirit keeps saying no to, because there is a reason. There's a reason. Any other messages or insights from my Saggies as it pertains to this spread? Overall appreciation in reverse. This is a lack of gratitude. It's also my Nine of Pentacles card. So it's like insecurity, lacking confidence, and, energies like that. There it is. Carrying connections in reverse. So yeah, this could definitely be about relationships, a relationship in particular, that it's not for you. It's not for you. And if this is like past stuff that you're still holding on to in your heart, that's why you need to sit down and clear this out. Wasn't for you. It just wasn't for you. And it's not personal. Even if it seems personal. Like, how do I want to say this? Let's say you wanted, let's say you want a particular friendship or business relationship or whatever. Maybe it was actually going to be abusive. Or maybe it was actually going to hold you back from a bigger purpose that was going to be more fulfilling for you anyway, right? There's a reason that these things don't work out sometimes. And I really want to say to not take that personally, to not take that as a reflection on who you are as a person, to not take that as a reflection on your value. Some of you might have been rejected a lot, taking a lot of L's, losses. There's a reason. How else do I want to say this? How else do I want to say this? Sometimes the more unique, I mean, everyone's unique, first of all, everybody's unique. Everybody has something different that they're bringing to the table, right? But there are certain people, and we see examples of this out in the world, like Albert Einstein, right? Picasso, like people like this, right? There's a reason that they were not accepted so much in specific ways throughout their life, or they took a lot of L's because they were supposed to, because they were different. Some of you are stars. Some of you are needing to be in very specific environments with very specific people doing very specific things, which common mainstream sort of situations are not going to support that. So some of you guys have had a lot of like spiritual intervention to help you, really to help you. How else do I want to say this too? Because I'm feeling inner child now, feeling inner child energy, like a little bit of like, but what about me, or what's wrong with me? Like, oh God, this is going into some deep, deep shadow, like collective shadow here, like self-worth issues, self-value issues. Sometimes certain situations might actually cause a lot of trauma and abuse to your inner child, even as an adult. Rejection is protection. Just trust it. Trust it. And then I feel like you guys are learning also to detach, to like not personalize these things. Some of you I'm also getting to where it's like, if you can go through this phase of work, and then come out the other side like this with gratitude for what you have, the right sort of contracts and opportunities and obligations and relationships are going to come in, right? To allow. And that's exactly what's trying to happen. This is trying to come in for you, Sag. Look at that. Look at that. Dancing, making music, having fun. The swans are so standing out to me. The reason that the swans are standing out to me so much, I mean, they've been coming up in the collective a bit. But the swans, a couple of different ways you can look at that. Swans are symbols of whole integration, of wholeness within the self, coming home to the self. But swans also speak of partnerships, right? Partnerships of kinship spirits, like whether they're friends or business partners or what have you. Even underneath that, we got the friendship card. It's okay. It's okay to take the L's and just look at it as spirit's got my back. Just take it like spirit's got my back. Got it. Not for me. Got it. Message received. Right? That is okay. And then you're going to find people who took it a lot of L's too. And they're going to be your people. Okay? Just saying. But yeah, this is what you're not acknowledging. This is what you're not acknowledging here. And again, if you've been worried about finances or anything like that, once you acknowledge this and then flow, and then take your time and let these downloads come in, let this information come in, things are going to start improving very fast. Very fast. You are in a period of expansion. So you are in a period of a rebirth, and this is part of the discomfort with that. It's like any kind of awakening or any kind of ascension process. It's like things have to fall away with the old you and things and perspectives that don't serve you anymore. So you can move into the new, right? Anyway, moving on to part 2. Saggies, if you guys are leaving us here, I hope you really enjoy this and got a lot out of it. Don't forget to where I can't talk. Don't forget to check out Patreon, Vimeo, and the website and social media, and I will see you guys later, okay? Take care.